The man had just slid down from the cable car, but he didn't know the safety rope was already fraying. At that moment, he was still in an excited state. It wasn't until halfway down that he noticed something was wrong, but it was already too late. Luckily, he managed to grab the steel rope above in time and tightly gripped the cable with his legs. Below him was an endless abyss. His body was suspended in midair, not daring to move an inch. The man began shouting for help. When the safety officer rushed over, the nervous man, due to overexertion, had already exhausted all his strength. Seeing this, the safety officer had no choice but to hold him with his legs, but couldn't hold on for more than a few seconds, and the man completely lost his strength. Ultimately, he lost his life. This scene was witnessed by his wife from nearby. She quickly asked the staff to call an ambulance, and then ran frantically down the slope. Using the remaining reference points on the cable car, Anna found the approximate location where her husband had fallen. She dialed her husband's phone, following the faint sound of the ringing. Finally, she found her dying husband at the bottom of a steep slope. At this point, the ambulance finally arrived. However, strangely, after the paramedics loaded the man into the vehicle, they stopped Anna from joining them. Since they were vacationing abroad, Anna couldn't understand what they were saying at all. In order not to delay her husband's treatment, she took a hospital business card and urged them to hurry up and leave. Anna then rode a motorcycle and tightly followed the ambulance. However, at a crossroads, a car suddenly swerved in from the side. Anna had no time to dodge, and both she and her bike fell heavily to the ground. When she slowly got up, she found that the ambulance was already gone. Everything seemed to indicate that someone was deliberately manipulating events. Indeed, when Anna endured the pain, she arrived at the hospital following the address on the card. The receptionist told her that no one had been brought to the hospital. She repeatedly confirmed, but the answer was still no. Helplessness and despair overwhelmed her like a tidal wave. Then Anna visited several nearby hospitals, but there was still no news of her husband. It was as if her husband had vanished into thin air. So Anna went to the local police station to file a report, but the police just had her fill out a form and told her to wait for further updates. The indifferent attitude left her feeling hopeless and disheartened. The two had just had their wedding, planning to leave their happy mark on a small island in the Caribbean and leave their happy memories there. However, the next evening, the appearance of a mysterious guide turned everything upside down. The guide piqued their interest with the idea of a cable car extreme challenge and gradually drew them into a terrifying conspiracy. The day after the man's accident, the family, upon hearing the news, arrived on the island, and they met with the police chief together. To provide more clues, Anna led the chief and her family to the cable car operations center, and then to the location where her husband had fallen, trying to reconstruct every detail of the incident. However, to her surprise, the cable car worker who had witnessed the accident and helped her call the ambulance now denied ever seeing the couple. This series of strange and suspenseful events hides a meticulously planned conspiracy behind it.